Listening to this hearing and the other hearings that have been held for Facebook, Twitter, and the others, I think it's really an important thing to give a message to the business community. And here's the message. Don't underestimate the risks to free enterprise of government threats to regulate free speech. Free enterprise and free speech are two sides of the same coin. Now, this happens to be the Senate Intelligence Committee, which is a high intelligence group of people. But generally speaking, with respect to Congress and with respect to the White House, in Washington, there have been too many threats to regulate free speech. When I was part of the group that put together Section 230 25 years ago, our fundamental idea was that everybody could be their own broadcaster, everybody could attract their own audience, and companies that facilitated that could pay for all the servers and all the networking by selling advertising. This was a good idea.
Yes.
The fact that these companies now are looking at some of the downsides of this practice, they should be given props for that. Big boo to Google for not showing up. But giving them props for this self-regulation, that's what we should be doing here. What we should not be doing is talking about the government imposing regulations.
Right, but I assume you think the companies see this threat, and that's why they're accelerating costs and expenses and self-policing.
Yeah, they're spending more. They're still going to make plenty of money. They are the wave of the advertising future, as they've been the wave of the advertising past for the last several years. They can afford to do this self-governing, but that's where we ought to draw the line, and everybody in business ought to recognize that it's everybody in business who is advantaged by these cheap, efficient ways to reach an audience with ads.
John Fort?
Mr. Hundt, I'm curious, one particular idea that came up a couple of times in this hearing is the idea of data portability. Now, I'm not sure how that would work. One person's Facebook account has limited value with the data on there. It's really the people that you're connected to, common interests, common data. But it seems that if that could be figured out, it could be a major disruptor in the social landscape. If you could take a whole group worth of data out of Facebook, put it into Google or put it into Twitter, put it into LinkedIn, it could really be a game changer. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
From the business community's perspective, the great advantage of Facebook and the great advantage of Twitter is not just that the users generate all the content. The great advantage is that there's just no friction involved in figuring out where to place the ads. The companies make it really, really easy. Now, as to the users, if the users don't want to use it anymore, as Cheryl said very eloquently, as Jack said very clearly, the users can do whatever they want. So if conservatives want to go create their own Facebook, have at it. And if liberals want to create their own Twitter accounts and their own Twitter business, have at it. But these businesses really do serve the American public, and they really do serve American business. And frankly, they're part of the glory of American capitalism, and that's why they're not allowed in China.